Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to continue with the CSIR NET GRF Chemical Science June 2018 Part C Series 6. In the earlier sessions, we continued with all Part B of this Chemical Science June 2018, and Part C different series have been completed. In today's session, last portion consisting 10 questions of this Part C of Chemical Science going to be finished. Okay, so by this we are going to complete this June 2018 entire chemical science question paper, right? So let us enter into our actual concept. So here question number 111 in part C chemical science. One of the correct normalized sp2 hybrid orbital is when sp2 hybrid orbital is considered one s orbital and two orbital get combined in the equal proportion, there is a formation of 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals are possible. When 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals are generated, s orbital contribution will be 33%, p orbital contribution will be 66%. Okay, so let us apply the cell notation for this one. Wave function application will be applied, quantum mechanics will be applied for this sp2 hybridized orbital. It is represented as a pi plus b pi form, right? So a pi stands for this is belongs to s term and b pi stands for p term. So for s orbital, it will be represented as 1 by under root 3 psi 2s orbital plus, so second term belongs to p orbital, that is under root 2 by under root 3 pi 2px orbital. Okay, so 1 by under root 3 pi 2s plus under root 2 by under root 3 pi 2px orbital. So in this, when we square this one, what happens? 1 by under root 3 whole square becomes 1 by 3 into 100. Now it is given as 33%. This is exactly matching with S percentage of sp2 orbital. And when we squaring this under root 2 by under root 3, what happens? It will become 66%. Again, it is matching with the p orbital contribution of sp2 hybridized orbital. Hence, this will be the correct representation of normalized sp2 hybrid orbital, that is 1 by under root 3 pi 2s plus under root 2 by under root 3 pi 2px. That's the reason why for question number 111, answer will be third option. Third option will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 112. The transition moment integral for rotational transition between j is equal to 1, m1 is equal to 0, j is equal to 2, m1 is equal to 0 states for diatomic molecule along z-axis is proportional to. Okay, so transitional moment integral for the rotational transition, these are the integer values are provided to us. We have to predict diatomic molecule state for the diatomic molecule in the z direction. So for that purpose, the equation will be integration limitation from theta to pi is equal to integration 0 to 2 pi y star j mj mu yj mj sin theta d theta d pi. So when we apply this equation, the derived answer will be integration 0 to pi cos square theta 3 cos square theta minus 1 d theta. Along the z-axis, it will be proportional to this option number 1. For question number 112, option number 1 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 113. Assuming harmonic approximation, the energy change for the reaction hydrochloric acid plus deuterium gives rise to deuterium chloride plus HD in centimeter inverse is vibrational frequency data in centimeter inverse is given in the below table. Here, these are the stretching frequencies of reactants as well as products. HCl on treating with deuterium, formation of DCl plus HD is possible. What we are doing, we are combining two reactants and two products will be obtained in this. What we have to predict? We have to predict the energy change for the reaction. How extent energy change is possible, that will be required to calculate. For that purpose, the data provided is HCl frequency, deuterium, DCl, HD frequency have been given, right? So the energy change of the reaction for the transformation for HD is equal to bond dissociation energy plus bond association energy. What kind of bonds? HCl and deuterium bonds got dissociated. DCl and HD bonds got associated. So when we add all these values, so that HD formation energy will be given. So for that purpose, here the fundamental thing is whenever bond dissociated, negative kind of energy will be generated. Bond associated, positive type of energy will be generated. Right now, this energy translationally given by minus EHCl plus ED2 plus EDCl plus EHD. Why we are denoting minus sign? Because the reactant HCl and deuterium got dissociated, DCl and HD got associated, right? So that's the reason why for these two, the term is denoted with negative, and for these two, positive sign is indicated. When we substitute all the values which are provided in the tabular form, so after calculating, so we got the finalized answer minus 129. For question number 113, minus 129 will be the right answer. So this is purely based on the equation bond dissociation energy plus bond association energy. This is required to be inserted in energy change for the reaction of formation. Okay, so for question number 113, option 3 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 114. The allowed electronic transition of fluorine molecule is whenever fluorine molecule was taken, what kind of allowed transition is possible? In order to get this transition, we have to go with its a selection rule. Selection rule first one states that delta lambda is equal to plus or minus 1. Delta lambda value is equal to plus or minus 1. So either step up of 1 unit or step down of 1 unit are required in order to get this electronic transition, one state to another. Then parity should be changed. Gerade, if there in the ground state after excitation, it should become ungerade, and vice versa. Ungerade to be converted into gerade state. So in this way, parity change is required for this kind of electronic transition. And next is about sign retention. If initially positive sign is there, after the excitation also we need to retain that positive, and vice versa. If negative is there, negative sign is required. So in that way, third selection rule states that sign retention is required. And fourth selection rule is if lambda value is 0, that should be denoted with sigma, 1 denoted with pi, 2 denoted with delta, 3 denoted with psi. So in this way, so here different integers have different symbols. So based on this, we can pronounce this state of electronic state of the molecule. So let us see which kind of transitions are allowed in accordance with these 4 selection rules. When we take first option, sigma to sigma. Here sigma to sigma in the sense delta lambda value will not be changed. Delta lambda is equal to 0 for this one. Because 0 state to 0 state, there is no plus or minus 1 value. That's why. So here selection rule 1 will be violated in option number 1. So in this case only we can discard this option. Even in the second option also, sigma is excited into another sigma state only. So plus or minus 1 is not obeyed. Either it should move on to another level or step down to another bottom level. But here sigma is transformed into another sigma only. This type of transition is not at all preferable. Hence, it is also discarded. In case of option number 3, we have sigma excited into pi orbital. So sigma to pi, it is possible, it is required actually, because 0 to 1 is nothing but plus 1 transition is possible. Plus 1 transition is allowed transition only. Let us go with charge. Here plus sign is there, here no sign is there. No sign indicates always it is associated with positive only, right? So plus to plus, that means sign retention, plus to plus only, otherwise minus to minus. That's why sign retention is there in this. And gerade to ungerade, parity is changed. That's why it is also allowed. All the selection rules got obeyed by this option number 3. Hence, option number 3 is the right answer for this electronic transition of fluorine molecule. Let us go with question number 115. a symmetric top molecule among the following is ethylene, allene, butatriene, hexatriene. 4 molecules are provided. Among all, we have to predict which is the symmetric top molecule. So allene is the symmetric top molecule. Let us see how it will be justified. In order to see that allene is the cumulative double bond system, and even it contains identical functional groups. One of the double bond is in the horizontal manner, in either double bond is in the vertical manner. That is tilted double bond will be there, right? And it is of D to D symmetry. And symmetry elements resided by this molecule will be identity elements, CN axis, perpendicular C2 axis, and also sigma D symmetry will be given by this one. Because of all these symmetry elements present within the molecule, within the allene molecule, it is said to be a symmetrical top molecule. And here one more thing need to be discussed is, so in this allene molecule, even we have similar functional group, even cumulative double bond is there, but dipole moment doesn't become zero. Dipole moment of allene is not zero because one of the double bond is in the vertical, in either double bond is in horizontal, both are in perpendicular manner. That's the reason why its a dipole moment is not exactly zero. So based on all these symmetry elements, you can conclude that allene is said to be a symmetrical top molecule. C2 axis of symmetry is two C2 axis of symmetry are there which are perpendicular to each other. One diagonal sigma plane is also present within the molecule, and identity element is there. Because of all these, D to D symmetry is there, and it is the symmetrical top molecule. For question number 115, option number 2 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 116. A solution of Fe plus 3 is titrated potentiometrically using cerium plus 3 solution at 25 degrees centigrade. EMF of the redox system thus formed when 50% of Fe plus 3 and 80% of Fe plus 3 are titrated wood respectively. It is a part of electrochemistry where potentiometric titrations got performed and EMF of the cell to be determined at 2 different instances of the reaction between Fe plus 3 and cerium plus 3. When Fe plus 3 titrated with cerium plus 3, Fe plus 3 turned into Fe plus 2. Cerium plus 3 got converted into cerium plus 4. It is a kind of redox reaction. And in this, when 50% iron consumed, how much extent of EMF generated? When 80% of iron got consumed, then how much amount of EMF generated? These two things we have to predict. For that purpose, for E naught value, iron is given by 0.77 volts. Let us apply next equation. E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 by N log of 1 by metal ion concentration. When this is considered, log of metal ion concentration, when it is considered, here we are not having any concentration of metal ion. Instead, we got the percentage of ion got titrated. So here two different conditions are provided. One is 50%, second is 80%. In case of 50% consumption, let us apply this. E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 by 1 into log 1 by 50 by 100. Okay, so 50% got consumed, that's why 1 by 50 by 100. So now denominator to denominator, you can take this 100 up, 100 by 50, it will become log 2. Log 2 value is already known to us, that is 0.3010, right? So E naught value is provided within the problem. For iron plus 3 to plus 2, E naught is denoted as 0.77. And the log 2 value is also given, that is 0.3010. So in this way, if we do the calculation, now the value final answer will be 0.77 volts. 0.77 volts given for 50% of consumption. Let us go with 80%. If 80% of Fe plus 3 got ionized, got titrated, then what will be the next equation for this one? E is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 by 1 into log 1 by 80 by 100. So it will become 100 by 80. 100 by 80 is nothing but 10 by 2. 100 by 90 is, 80 is nothing but 10 by 2. Now it will become log 10 minus log 2. Log 10 value is 1 and the log 2 value is 0.3010. So when we apply like this, the formula, the calculation will be 0.73 volts. For 80% of consumption of iron plus 3, EMF production will be 0.73. These two calculated based on Nernst equation at these two instances. For question number 116, option number 3 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 117. 117, it is the part of solid state chemistry. The 002 plane of elemental face-centered cubic crystal diffracts X-rays. Lambda value is provided as 0.154 nanometers at Bragg angle 90 degrees. The density of the crystal is 4 into 104 kilogram per meter cube. The atomic weight of the elemental solid. Here, the requirement is atomic weight calculation. For that purpose, FCC lattice was given where 002 Miller indices are provided. Lambda value is given as 0.154 nanometers and angle theta is given as 90 degrees. Density value is 4 into 10 to the power 4. Let us apply Bragg's law. N lambda is equal to 2d sine theta. So N lambda is equal to 2d sine 90 degrees. Theta value is provided as 90 degrees. Now 0.154 into 10 to the power minus 9, because value given in nanometers, it will be multiplied with 10 to the power minus 9 is equal to 2 into d into sine 90 value is provided as 1, right? So among all these, all the terms are known except d. Now d is equal to 0.154 into 10 to the power minus 9 by 2. The value will be, density value will be 0.077 into 10 to the power minus 9. And in another way also this density calculation can be carried. Density is equal to A by under root H square plus L square plus K square. What is density formula? Density is equal to A by under root H square plus L square plus K square. So already we know density value, that is 0.077 into 10 to the power minus 9, right, is equal to A by under root H coordinate. H coordinate value is 0, L coordinate value is 0, K coordinate value is 2, right? 0 square plus 0 square plus 2 square. So when we apply this equation, A value, so in this all the terms are known except A. Now A becomes, A can be calculated from this. A is equal to 0.154 into 10 to the power minus 9. A is equal to 0.154 into 10 to the power minus 9. So in this way, A will be calculated. Then the formula of density, density is equal to mass by volume. So it is taken as charge into mass by volume into Avogadro number. Charge into mass by volume into Avogadro number. So Z into M by volume is nothing but A cube. So Z into M by A cube into N. Okay. Here, let us take M. M value is equal to what happens? So if you want to calculate mass, because the elemental mass need to be calculated. So elemental mass is equal to 0.154 cube, because A is this one and A cube should be taken here. So Avogadro number is 6.023 into 10 to the power minus 27. So, and remaining charge is given by 10 to the power 7. After substituting all these values, this atomic mass is calculated as 0.02199 into 10 to the power 3. So when we make into correct form, 21.99, it is almost is equal to 22. So this is about question number 117. Correct answer will be option number 1. Let us move on to question number 118. The standard cell potential platinum hydrogen HCl AgBr Ag was measured over range of temperatures. Data was fitted as E0 is equal to 0.01 minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 4, T minus 298 minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6, T minus 298 whole square. Standard reaction entropy and enthalpy at 298 Kelvin are. Okay, so we have to predict reaction entropy, reaction enthalpy as well. So for that purpose, here equation was given. By using this equation, we are going to calculate these two terms, right? So here the formula is given, that is standard electrode potential is given by 0.01 minus 1 into 10 to the power minus 4 T minus 298 minus 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 T minus 298 whole square. The temperature provided within the problem will be 298. That's why it will become 298 minus 298. Here also 298 minus 298 square. So when this difference was taken, that becomes 0. 0 multiplied with any other factor, that also, that entire term becomes 0. That's why. So this total term becomes 0. Now E naught is given by 0.01. E naught is given by 0.01. At 298 Kelvin, anodic cell standard potential will be 0.01. So delta G, right, Gibbs free energy change is given by minus NF E naught. So let us substitute all the values. When we take this reaction, hydrogen HBr, AgBr, Ag was given. So how many electrons transferred from anode to cathode? So one electron only transferred, because hydrogen able to release one electron, silver able to accept one electron. That's why N value becomes, valency becomes only 1. F is the, where it is here. F is nothing but Faraday. 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs, and E naught just calculated, that is 0.01. 0.01. So this is about delta G. Now delta G is calculated as minus 9.65 value. So after multiplying all these, it is minus 9.65 is given. Delta G is equal to minus NFE. Delta G, another formula is also there. Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Delta H is equal to delta G minus T delta S, because we have to calculate enthalpy here, right? And one more formula is there. Delta S is equal to minus NF into dE by dt P. Okay, dE by dt is equal to 0.01. So dE by dt is equal to 0.01 was taken. Now temperature difference is taken as 0. When we calculate all the things, dE by dt is equal to, by substituting all the things, delta S value is calculated as minus 9.65 joules Kelvin, minus 9 point. So this value is 1 only. Farad is equal to 96,500, and dE by dt value is also given here. So when we substitute all the values, it is calculated as delta S value is calculated as minus 9.65 joule Kelvin, right? So delta S completed. Next is about delta H. Delta H is equal to delta G plus T delta S. Delta G value is calculated as, minus 9.65. Delta G is equal to minus 9.65, right? So that minus 9.65 plus temperature operated is 298 Kelvin, and delta S value just now we got calculated minus 9.65. So when we substitute all the values, we will get delta H. Delta H is given by minus 3,840 joules. It can be converted into kilojoules by dividing with 1000. Delta H is equal to minus 3.84 kilojoules, right? So for question number 118, option number 1 will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 119. It is a part of phase diagram, phase system. It is physical chemistry portion. In the phase diagram of water, the solid liquid boundary has a negative slope. The reason for the unusual behavior can be traced to decrease in. Okay, so by using this slanting nature of, so when we see the phase diagram of water, it is the one component system. 3 phases are coexisted within the phase diagram. So what they are asking for, the slanting position can be used to trace the decrease in. So because of this slanting position in this curve, what we can predict? Okay, firstly, let us see the composition of phase diagram of water system. This water system was drawn in between temperature and pressure variables. So temperature was the x coordinated term, pressure will be the y coordinated term. We will get 3 curves and 3 areas will be there, and 3 curves bisecting point is said to be a triple point. right? When we are taking OA curve, on this OA curve, what happens? Water and water vapor coexisted, and this curve is said to be a vapor pressure curve. When we are considering OB, so on this OB curve, ice and water vapor are coexisted. That's why we can say this is the sublimation curve. When we are taking OC curve, ice and water got coexisted, and this is said to be a melting point curve. In this way, water phase diagram is represented in this manner. So here three curves will be there. So OC curve is slantingly indicated. So because of this slanting position, density of water will be reduced when compared to this water. When we see water and ice, obviously ice density will be lesser than water. Even it is a solid component, its density, this is unusual behavior, right? So let us take the simplest example. Let us take the bowl of water and add ice cubes on that. Always ice cubes will float on the surface of water instead of dipped into suspended into the bottom. Because of this nature only, because of this anomalous nature only, so polar glacier is even ice covered totally on the surface of water. Beneath that, aquatic species are surviving without any difficulty. So because ice is forming on the surface, but interior region water will be there where aquatic species are able to survive, right? So in this manner, because of that is purely explained by the slanting position of plot in this phase diagram. This purely because of density of the system on melting. Upon melting, so density change can be observed. This anomalous behavior purely explained based on density of the ice. Always ice density is lesser than water. For question number 119, option number one will be the right answer. Let us move on to question number 120. At 300 Kelvin, thermal expansion coefficient and isothermal compressibility of liquid water 2 into 10 to the power minus 4 Kelvin, 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 bar inverse respectively. du by dV in kilobar for water 320 Kelvin, 1 bar will be. Okay, so here what we have to predict? We have to predict the value of du by dV value. What terms are given to us? Thermal expansion is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4. And second is isothermal compressibility is 5 into 10 to the power minus 8. These two parameters are provided. So temperature is 320 Kelvin and pressure applied will be 1 bar, right? So by using this, we have to predict du by dV. This problem can be solved based on Maxwell equation. So in order to get that, first let us go with this thermal expansion coefficient denoted with alpha. That value is 2 into 10 to the power minus 4. Isothermal compressibility is denoted with beta, whose value is 5 into 10 to the power minus 5. Right? Let us take the ratio of alpha and beta. Alpha by beta is given by 2 by 5 into 10, nothing but 4. After substituting all these and got calculated, alpha by beta ratio is given by 4. So this value exactly is equal to dP by dt, right? So pressure differential by temperature differential is equal to alpha by beta is equal to 4. Now the requirement is the calculation of du by dV. So du by dV to be calculated at the given standard conditions. So du is equal to, this is in accordance with Maxwell relationship. Du is given by, it should be small d, not capital D. Du is equal to TdS minus PdV. The formula for this du calculation will be du is equal to TdS minus PdV. Let us differentiate both the sides with dV, right? So when we differentiate du by dV is equal to TdS by dV minus PdV by dV. Both sides we are applying, we are differentiating with dV. So du by dV is equal to TdS by dV plus PdV by dV. dV got cancelled. Now it becomes du by dV is equal to TdS by dV minus P. So here the sign will be negative because TdS minus PdV, that's why it will become minus P, right? So in accordance with Maxwell relation, ds by dV is equal to dP by dt. So already we know dP by dt is equal to 4, right? So this ds by dV formula can be applied in du by dV is equal to T dP by dt V minus P. So in this equation, we have ds by dV. Instead of ds by dv, what we are inserting? dp by dt, because that term is known to us, that value is known to us. So du by dt is equal to, this t should be subscript here. Here also t should be subscript at constant temperature. This denotes constant temperature. Du by dt t is equal to t dp by dt. So again, it is the constant volume, isochoric condition. Constant volume stands for isochoric condition. Okay. So t dp by dt v minus p. So here du by dt to be calculated for that purpose, temperature provided within the problem, temperature provided as a 320 Kelvin. Temperature provided is 320 into dp by dt value that just we calculated, that is 4. So 320 into 4 minus pressure. How much pressure given within the problem? 1 bar pressure is given. So 320 into 4 minus 1, it will become 1280. 1280 bar is nothing but, so that can be converted into kilobar by dividing with 1000. 1280 by 1000, it will become 1.28 kilobar. 1.28 kilobar will be there. So for question number 120, right option will be second one, 1.20. So by this, series 6 is successfully completed, where we explained about all 10 questions which left in this part C of CSIR NET JRF Chemical Science June 2018. By this entire question paper of 2018 got completed. Hope this session will be very much useful. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Thank you one and all.